Ebonics itself was coined in 1973 by Dr. Robert Williams, an African-American social psychologist who helped establish Black studies. In 1975, Williams published Ebonics, the True Language of Black Folks, to reflect the multinational linguistic results of the African slave trade. Who knew that 21 years later, Ebonics would cause a massive controversy? Through the remainder of the 70s and into the 80s, Ebonics the term lived purely in academia, but Ebonics itself was shared in mass media like blaxploitation films and music. Show enough, jive turkey! Am I canceled? Also in the 1970s, there was a shift towards targeted Black consumer advertising. McDonald's was notorious for dropping the G on words in its urban ads and rolled out the Get Down campaign. Black speech was also mocked, like when in the early 80s, habitual piece of shit, felon, and racist Dinesh D'Souza, then just the editor of the Dartmouth Review, published an anti-affirmative action article entitled "This Show Ain't No Jive, Bro," which was written in Ebonics. On December 18, 1996, the Oakland School Board, overseeing a student population that was over 50% Black, passed a resolution declaring Ebonics to be the language of its 28,000 Black students. Citing the fact that Black students had lower literacy rates than white ones and that 71% of those enrolled in special education courses were Black, the resolution was supported by linguists who believed that using a child's home dialect to help teach standard English would yield higher literacy rates, and that it would also teach them how to code switch. The pilot program had been successful, and the 1973 study showing how pronunciation correction affected learning added weight to this theory. The elementary years are a crucial time to foster a love of learning, not a repulsion or anxiety about it, so that the love of learning sticks for life.
Nobody is saying we want to change English, we want to teach Black English.
We recognize the children who come to us, many of the children who come to us have language systems that are not consistent with standard English. Teachers need to be aware of those systems, and they must have tools to move the students from those systems to standard English.
The resolution was misunderstood as a program intended to teach AAVE and slang, and was criticized by Republicans, prominent Democrats, and the likes of Maya Angelou and Jesse Jackson. Said Angelou, "The very idea that African American language is a language separate and apart can be very threatening, because it can encourage young men and women to not learn standard English." This is quite different from her passage in I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, saying, "We were alert to the gap separating the written word from the colloquial. We learn to slide out of one language and into another without being conscious of the effort. At school, in a given situation, we might respond with, 'That's not unusual.' But in the street, meeting the same situation, we easily said, 'It be like that sometimes.'" Said Jesse Jackson before changing his mind later, "You don't have to go to school to learn to talk garbage." There was a flurry of anti-Ebonics sentiment, including a "I Has a Dream" poster printed by the National Head Start Association, warning against the Oakland resolution. Warned Education Week in 1997, the resolution also suggests that some African American students are eligible for state and federal bilingual education and English as a second language money. Defenders of the resolution saw a mainly Black school board being attacked by the white media, and critics saw it as something that would hold Black children back.
Do you think that an African American person can hope to make a success in most fields in this country if this person says, "He be going to work," and uses the question, "I ask you, he be going to work"?